New monthly series? Go on then. Got a new name for the podcast. Even an intro for the podcast. Now a series? Go on, subscribe. Have you subscribed yet? Welcome to Twitter Football Takes of the Month. I have gathered some tweets, stories, facts off of Twitter, and I will talk about them. I might diss some of them, I might agree with some of them, although it's Twitter. I don't really agree with many things on Twitter. But before I get into it, it's not even Twitter anymore. I mean, what is that? Twitter Football Takes goes quite well. X Football Takes, not so well. So for this month anyway, going to keep it at Twitter. Okay, so the first one we'll talk about is the one in the thumbnail, which you probably clicked on this video for. It's from AI at No New Thing. Aguero isn't an all-timer like Harry Kane. In football, as a striker, you can only help your team in 3 areas going forward: the build-up, the transition, and in the box. Kane is more effective at all 3 than Sergio was. Simple as. Now, everyone's Twitter who I use in this video will be in the description, so you can follow them if you want. I'll put mine in there too. Now, I have seen so much Aguero slander last week, and I'd say it's harsh, considering he carried the Premier League for about 6 years. I mean, I'm just going to say it. He's better than Harry Kane. He has a higher goal per game ratio than Harry Kane, 0.67 to Kane's 0.68. I mean, Aguero was incredible. I mean, I know he was in a better team, but I mean, the best players play for the better teams, so to punish someone for playing in a better team doesn't really make sense. Yeah, he was amazing. He's more, I mean, I say he's more of an eye test. I mean, the stats prove he's better, I think. And also, just watching him, he was better than Harry Kane. He just was. And this is coming from a Spurs fan. I think, if I remember correctly, he scored a hat-trick against Chelsea, and then the next game, I think he scored a hat-trick against Arsenal. Like, super elite. He had a lot of injuries. He would have so many more goals now if he didn't get injured consistently. He would probably be at around about 230, 220-ish. Big game player too. I mean, he loved playing the top 6. Every single team in the Premier League feared Sergio Aguero. Now, this is an interesting one, and a wrong one as well. Tony_X_Tark. I hate nostalgia, man. In what way is this brother better than KDB? 80% of the people who say this didn't even watch him live. Now, I was very young when this final was on, but I can still sort of remember Kaká. No, I mean, Kaká was better than Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, consistency. I think his passing is a lot better. He's a lot more of a midfielder than Kaká was. Kaká was very much a forward/midfielder. But yeah, Kaká's better than Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, Kaká was literally the best player in the world. I mean, he was up there with a young Messi and a young Ronaldo. Not for long, but he was there with them. Kaká's prime is one of the best ever. He was so quick, he was strong, he was absolutely rapid. Great finisher, great passer. He was so complete as a player. And he's on the wall. Kevin De Bruyne isn't. He won a Ballon d'Or, the last player to do so before Messi and Ronaldo went on a 12-year streak of winning it just between those two. I don't think there's loads in it. I think you can make an argument for Kevin De Bruyne. I think Kevin De Bruyne, has he had a better career? Maybe. Probably. Yeah, probably. But no, I don't think he was a better player than Kaká. Now this one, brace yourselves. No way De Bruyne is anywhere close to this Don. This Don being Isco. Prime Isco, 2017. Very good player. Very enjoyable. Not only is Kevin De Bruyne's prime better than Isco, but his longevity. You could have 5 different people argue when Kevin De Bruyne's prime was, and they could all have different answers. For me, it's 2017 to 2018, the Centurions season. For a start, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is only 1 year older than Isco. Look where they are in their careers. I think it's a bit of a shame what happened to Isco. I mean, really talented, really good player. But yes, for some reason, something hasn't worked out there. It would be great to see him get back to his best. I don't think that is going to happen, though. Now, a similar sort of story, this tweet. This was at, I think, the sort of the start of July 13th. United faithfuls. Alcoholic mum. Molested by his mum's friend at 6. Started smoking at 7. Started dealing drugs, at 8. Hung off a bridge at 11, adopted at 12. Emotional and powerful interview by Dele Alli, wishing him the best going forward. Yeah, that interview was incredible. I have no doubt he helped or saved at least one person watching that, and that's at least. Most likely many, many more. You know, to say that stuff on a podcast, which you know is going to get a lot of views, you know, considering it's with Gary Neville, and it's got 5.5 million, which is the second most amount of views on the overlap so far. Yeah, very brave. You know, for me, one of my favourite players of all time, you know, that 16-17 season, he was so good. It felt like he scored every single week. You know, I think one of the best youngsters in Premier League history, definitely. And I think this interview was the right thing to do for him, to come out now and, you know, say all of this. Okay, so the next one is from Mr. Tom Garrett himself, very big name in the YouTube football world. He's on pitch side as well. And the context of this video, Mark Goldbridge, is basically just saying that Man City are good because they have money, and that, you know, if the Qataris come into Man United, then they'll be good. Tom Garrett says, when are people going to realise the common denominator is Pep? He didn't spend close to what some Prem clubs have recently at Barca and created the greatest team of all time, which I agree. Yes, City have shitloads of money, but they spend it best, again, which I agree. United have literally spent more, just poorly. Again, I agree. 10 out of 10 tweet from Tom Garrett there. I mean, I think it's so true. I think people think it's easy spending money and be a good team. I think Man United literally prove that that's not the case. And Chelsea, by the way. For me, Pep is the GOAT. I think last season was remarkable from him, what he did. You know, with Rodri, John Stones, you know, Akanji, Ake, so many players. I think with Pep, teams just feel so secure and that everyone has trust in him that he will deliver, which is sort of the same thing that Alex Ferguson had, which makes a manager so great. I have no doubt at all that Man City will drop off when Pep leaves. No doubt at all. I'm not saying they won't win the league, but they will be nowhere near as dominant as they are now. Okay, the next one is the Spurs Scout. This will be unpopular, but Gallagher and Ange would be something I'd like to see. Think 50 million is a bad price, but he clearly suits the type of midfielder Ange is looking for. Energetic midfielder with good defensive output and engine for a pressing side, plus good runner into the box. I completely agree. I mean, I think Gallagher would be a fantastic sign-in for Spurs. I actually have a video on Tottenham if you want to go and watch that. It's basically where I think Spurs will be this season. And I actually recommended that Spurs do sign Conor Gallagher. I think he would be the perfect fit for Ange Postecoglou. He scores goals, he's got incredible stamina, he runs back as well. Incredible presser, which is what Ange wants. I like it, but 50 mil seems excessive. Okay, now the last tweet. I know there's not been that many. This is just the first one, so let's all just chill out a little bit, alright? From pitch side. So here we have Reeve, and they were talking about who has the better squad out of Aston Villa or Chelsea. I think it's interesting because when I saw it, I thought Chelsea, obviously. Now, I do still think Chelsea have the better squad. 1 to 11, Chelsea have the bigger superstar potential. It all depends how they do this season as well. I mean, if you look at the potential and stature of players, I think Chelsea have the better team. But if you were to just do right now, who would you take tomorrow to play a game? It probably would be Aston Villa, I think. And I think Villa would have about 6 or 7 players. You know, I think of Martinez, I think of Pau Torres, potentially. I think of Tielemans, Douglas Luiz, Moussa Diaby over Mudryk. Right now, you would take him after the season Mudryk just had. Ollie Watkins, you would take up front. I know Nico Jackson's had a good pre-season, but he's still unknown, really. So yeah, I think if you were to take a team tomorrow, it would be Aston Villa. But in the future, with the same players, Chelsea would come out on top, I think, definitely. And that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. It's a bit of a shame he's changed it to X instead of Twitter, because I think Twitter just sounds better. But yeah, well. If you did enjoy it, give it a like I said, and subscribe if you are new for more videos.